Hello, and thank you for joining us on our Silver CY Week 6 for Pace Setting Leadership. I am Ben Newcomb, and this week we're going to be covering Pace Setting Leadership all the way through. This will also have a Q&A session at the end, so if you're having any difficulties like understanding what we're talking about or have any questions about it, or just questions about something you could improve within your troop, go ahead and ask those as soon as you think of them in the Q&A box, and we will answer them at the end. I'm going to now send it over to Max for introductions.
Thank you, Ben. So hi, everybody. My name is Max. Cool. Still recording. So anyway, as I was saying, I am a 6th year on staff here at camp. I have worked as an assistant middle manager at the Nature Center, a middle manager at the Nature Center for 2 years, and I am this year an assistant camp director. I will send it on over to Sean.
Hi everyone, I'm Sean Anderson. This is my 4th summer on staff, and I'm the manager for this summer. Next, I will send it over to David.
Everyone, my name is David Scarullo. This is my 3rd year on staff, and I am the barn director.
So Ben just dropped out. Hopefully he'll return to the call soon. But with him out, we're going to continue on with pace setting leadership. So pace setting leadership is a similar leadership style to authoritative leadership, but instead it goes by the mantra of do as I do now. So pretty much the way that it operates is you have a leader, and the leader sets the pace setting leadership for the rest of the people to follow. This is a strong kind of leadership that kind of works well in a situation where the leader sets clear requirements for the rest of the team. The leader should probably never ask of anyone for something that they're incapable of, unless it's something bound by like a lack of experience. So as a pace setting leader, you want to make sure that you have people around you that have an idea of what is going on, or it's a task that's simple enough that they can learn through doing it and following your lead. So very important quality to have as a pace setting leader is self-motivation. So you are the person that's motivating everyone else by your actions and what you're doing to follow you and use you as a prime example for their following, if you will. So you need to have, as the leader, be very self-motivated, a strong desire to succeed, setting high standards for people to follow, and then also following those rules and such that you set as a leader. Another is clearly communicating what needs to get done. You can't really be ambiguous while you're a pace setting leader. So you need to make sure that you are clear in what you're saying in order for people to follow your lead. Another thing that pace setting leaders need to have is initiative. Initiative is very important when it comes to this kind of leadership style because the faster the process gets done, or whatever you're working on with your team gets done, the better off the rest of the team will be. And it's that speed and communication that helps make this leadership style effective. And last but not least is, like I mentioned already, is a pace setting leader leads by example. So you need to be kind of down in the dirt with the rest of your team, making sure things get done, making sure that things get done the way that you want it to, and also in the same way that you want other people to replicate as well. Ben, are you back in the call? Just take a moment. I will pass the next few things off to Ben. He's going to talk about a couple examples of what pace setting leadership kind of looks like. So Ben, when you're ready, just start away.
So his no-nonsense approach meant that he rewarded the top 20% of performers, and he fired the bottom 10% at the end of the quarter. And therefore, his GE team was always kept on their toes to ensure consistency and high standard. So this was a little aggressive, as most pace leadership is, but that's just how he led his company to be one of the strictest in the century. Next, we're going to go to David to talk about some pros of pace setting leadership.
Thanks, Ben. So a couple of pros.
I was muted that whole all right. So leadership under
Apologies for the network problems. So David was talking about some of the pros that come with pace setting leadership. And just to summarize what he was going through, is that it's really good for something with a stress time constraint. It makes sure that team members are motivated due to the pace that's being set. It has very high quality in the short term. A apologies, pace setting leader prefers to be involved in things because it lets them kind of connect and control the pace of completion or the process in which it's going. And then it's similar to one of the main benefits of servant leadership, which we talked about last week, is that these leaders do not just talk about it, but they actually do get down there with their teammates, people that are working for them and with them, and get the job done. So it's not someone standing back and telling people what to do. It's a very hands-on kind of leadership style. So with that, and while we're waiting for David to come back in, we're going to hand this over to Sean, who's going to talk about some of the cons of this kind of leadership style. Sean?
Thank you, Max. So some of the cons for pace setting leadership, it's not always good to use the same type of leadership style. And some of the cons for pace setting is that it can be very stressful on team members over a long period of time and often rely on those strict deadlines. And why morale is so important is morale is very low and there's very little motivation for work to get done, and then workers will not have any productivity. Based on this leadership style is so quick, instructions to followers may not even be clear. And with that, I will send back to Max on how to use this style.
Thank you, Sean. So using this style, as Sean has mentioned already, you only want to use it in certain situations where a fast pace is necessary for whatever task you need to get completed or project that you're working on with other people, because it does tire out the people that you're working with and it can cause a lot of internal friction with your team. So you want to make sure that you are using it in the correct situation. Figuring out when to use the correct situation might take a little bit of experience. But once you do know how to use it, then you'll be able to effectively use it. This in a sincere manner, with knowing how to use it, because if you use it in a way and with a team that doesn't quite work the same as you or aren't as cohesive together, you're not going to be able to set that pace for them to follow, because you'll set that pace, put all that effort into it. No one's going to follow you because either they don't respect you as a leader, or they're not together enough as a team, or there's more things that you need to work on in order to get to that point where you can push people by showing them where you want them to be. So those are some examples of when you want to use the style. So with that, I'm going to send it back over to Ben, and Ben's going to talk a little bit about what we talked about throughout the meeting. Ben?
Thanks, Max. Just to recap what everyone just went over, the team must watch the leader and follow in their example with their work performance, speed, and quality. So just to recap, the main mantra of a pace-setting leader is "do as I do now," and that quality and speed that the leader demonstrates must be fulfilled by teammates, or to be send leadership style and work well within a specific situation to yield result. Excessive unbalanced pace of leadership style is highly correlated negative place class. B to use it within. This is why it's very important to know all of the principles of leadership that we talked about this summer. Just because you don't always want to be using one at a time, it's all about the situation and when you use leadership situationally. And with that, we're going to transfer into our Q&A portion of this conference. So looks like we have one question. Says, what makes pace-setting leadership different from coaching leadership? So that's a really good question. A coaching style is more towards a less competent team, which takes time to develop their skills and perform at maximum efficiency. That's why if you don't have a quite competent team, it's very important that you use leadership style that is not pace-setting leadership, just because pace-setting leadership is geared towards getting very effective and efficient work done as high quality and fast as possible with a very, very competent team. And so it's important to be familiar with both styles of leadership in order to most effectively lead your team. We'll give it another couple seconds for questions. All right, and with that, I want to thank all of our panelists for giving their valuable insight on pace-setting leadership. And I want to thank all of you for viewing this call. And with that, I think we're going to wrap it up. So thank you and have a good night.